Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash, the channel where we cut through the marketing rehearsals, skip the dealership fluff, and bring you the raw, unfiltered truth about the cars that actually matter. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon, because today we've got something that's guaranteed to stir up emotions, spark debates, and remind us all why performance SUVs even exist. We're talking about the 2026 Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT, the flagship SUV from Porsche that wants to remind the world it can still bend the laws of physics while carrying 5 people and a week's worth of luggage. Exterior: the Cayenne has always been a controversial car in Porsche's history. Purists hated it when it first came out, but it ended up saving the brand and becoming one of its best sellers. Fast forward to 2026, and this Turbo GT trim is more than just an SUV. It's Porsche's middle finger to anyone who still doubts that a high-riding family hauler can be as thrilling as a sports car. And in typical Car Flash fashion, we're going to break down exactly what this machine delivers, without sugarcoating anything. Let's start with the way it looks, because let's be honest, no one buys a Turbo GT to fly under the radar. The front of the Cayenne is aggressive, almost angry in its stance. Porsche's signature 4-point LED matrix headlights now come with sharper contours, and the front bumper is loaded with massive air intakes that scream performance. Unlike the standard Cayenne, the Turbo GT gets a lower stance, carbon fiber accents, and a reshaped hood that makes it clear you're not dealing with an entry-level model. The nose looks wide, planted, and purposeful, giving off the vibe of a supercar dressed up as an SUV. Swinging over to the side profile, you start to see why this car feels different. The 22-inch forged alloy wheels with center-locking hubs are not just for show while they reduce weight and improve handling. The roofline gently slopes back, giving it that coupe-like silhouette without going full sacrifice to practicality. Porsche has integrated subtle carbon fiber side skirts, and the overall proportions are tighter, more muscular, and sportier than most of its luxury SUV rivals. You also notice details like the carbon fiber roof, which doesn't just shave off weight but lowers the center of gravity, something that makes a massive difference in a 2.5-ton SUV. This side profile screams speed, and unlike some SUVs that just try too hard, this one actually looks like it belongs in the fast lane. Move to the back and things get even more dramatic. The Turbo GT features a fixed carbon fiber rear wing perched on the roof line, and beneath it, an adaptive spoiler that automatically adjusts for downforce at high speeds. The taillights keep Porsche's now iconic full-width LED bar design, but the bumper is far more aggressive than what you'd find on a standard Cayenne. The diffuser is massive, and sticking out of it are titanium exhaust tips, a 4 of theme finished in a subtle matte color that hints at the insane soundtrack this SUV produces. It's one of the most intimidating rears you'll find on any SUV, reminding you that this car isn't about blending in up, it's about dominating the road. Interior: step inside, and Porsche has made sure the Cayenne Turbo GT feels just as special as it looks. The cabin strikes a near-perfect balance between luxury and motorsport aggression. You're greeted with Alcantara everywhere on the steering wheel, the headliner, the seats, and even parts of the door panels. The sport seats are sculpted to hold you in place during aggressive driving, yet they're still comfortable enough for long journeys. Turbo GT branding is stitched into the headrests, just to remind you every time you step in that you're sitting in something exclusive. The dashboard carries Porsche's latest tech setup. A massive curved digital driver's display flows seamlessly into a central infotainment touchscreen. Both screens are crisp, responsive, and filled with higher-resolution graphics that make navigating through menus feel effortless. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Porsche's own navigation system are all here, and the infotainment is paired with the Burmester 3D sound system that delivers a concert-like audio experience when you're not listening to the symphony of the V8 under the hood. The center console is sleek, with touch-sensitive controls and a perfectly positioned drive selector. And because it's a Porsche, the start button sits to the left of the steering wheel, an ode to the brand's racing heritage. Practicality hasn't been completely ignored either. There's plenty of space in the rear seats, though the coupe-inspired roofline does eat into headroom slightly compared to the standard Cayenne. Rear passengers still get heated and ventilated seats, their own climate controls, and even access to USB-C ports for charging. The trunk is more than adequate for everyday use. Though you're not buying a Turbo GT for Costco runs, it's more about proving you can have performance without fully sacrificing practicality. Now let's talk about performance, because this is where the Cayenne Turbo GT goes from being impressive to absolutely insane. Under the hood sits a 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine that produces a jaw-dropping 650 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. Porsche has fine-tuned this engine specifically for the Turbo GT, with upgrades to the turbochargers, crankshaft, and cooling system. Power is sent to all four wheels through an 8-speed Tiptronic S automatic transmission, which delivers shifts so quick and precise, you'd swear it's a dual clutch. All that translates to staggering performance numbers. The Cayenne Turbo GT rockets from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.1 seconds, making it one of the fastest SUVs on the planet. Keep your foot down, and it'll charge all the way to a top speed of 186 miles per hour. To put that in perspective, you're looking at a 5-seat SUV that can embarrass many dedicated sports cars on the drag strip. But straight-line speed is only half the story. Porsche's engineering magic really shines when you throw the Cayenne Turbo GT into corners. Thanks to active suspension management, dynamic chassis control, rear axle steering, and torque vectoring, this SUV feels like it's defying physics. Body roll is nearly non-existent, the steering is precise and communicative, and the carbon ceramic brakes provide confidence-inspiring stopping power. This isn't just a fast SUV, it's a driver's SUV. It's the kind of machine that makes winding roads feel like a playground, despite its size and weight. And then there's the exhaust note, how deep, thunderous, and raw. Every acceleration is accompanied by a soundtrack that makes you want to drop a gear just for the noise. Of course, performance like this comes with the price, and the 2026 Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT is no bargain. The starting price sits around $200,000, but once you start adding in Porsche's infamous options like custom paint, interior upgrades, and carbon trim, you're easily looking at a $250,000 SUV. That's Lamborghini Urus money, that's Ferrari Purosangue money, but Porsche is betting on its driving dynamics and engineering precision to keep enthusiasts loyal. And honestly, when you experience it, you start to see where the money goes. So, what's the verdict? The 2026 Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT isn't just another fast SUV, it's a statement. It proves that Porsche hasn't lost its touch when it comes to building cars that stir emotions, even in a segment that shouldn't make sense. It's brutally fast, shockingly agile, and unapologetically expensive. But if you're someone who wants the practicality of an SUV, the luxury of a premium cabin, and the performance of a sports car all rolled into one, the Cayenne Turbo GT sits near the top of the food chain. That wraps up today's deep dive into the 2026 Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. If you enjoyed this review and want more no-nonsense takes on the cars that really matter, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Car Flash, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Would you pick this over rivals like the Lamborghini Urus, Aston Martin DBX 707, or Ferrari Purosangue? Or do you think Porsche is asking too much money for what's essentially a very, very fast Cayenne? Either way, I'll be reading your comments, and we'll continue the conversation there. Thanks for watching Car Flash, and I'll see you in the next review.